Hey, how's it going? So I'm gonna make a super quick video on why rank is a waste of time and also how to quit League of Legends. Okay? So why, I made so many videos on why rank is a waste of time, but first thing you have to understand, it's a rotation mechanism and there is no skill involved in rotating the games. Right? There is no difference between gold and a plat player. So, I mean, what are you doing? You're just literally coin flipping so you get a badge. Right? If you want a badge, there you go. Okay? There you go. Congratulations. I will give you this badge if you can not play, if you stop playing League of Legends, I'll give you this badge. There you go. Let's go. I'm gonna link this. I'm gonna link this in description below. So, congratulations, you have made it. Right? So link this. There is your badge. Stop wasting your time. There you go. Congratulations. Well done. Okay, second thing is, ladies really do think that League of Legends is weird. And I'm talking about even the ladies that play League of Legends, they also think that League of Legends players are weird. Right? So, I'll give you an example how it sounds like. Right? So, imagine you go on a date with a girl. You're chatting, everything is going well, and then she tells you that she is rank 1 on a server on a game that is called Barbie's Starshine Pony Arena, where the game is you run around a arena or whatever, a map, and you collect stardust. That's what it sounds like. She's collecting stardust, running around an imaginary arena, and she's the best at this thing. That's you right now. Okay, do you honestly think it's very attractive? Now, the worst thing about it... I'm sorry, it's very funny. Now, the worst thing about it, we know that rank 1 player cannot beat me 1v1 in a match. Okay, I already demonstrated on multiple occasions where I can beat rank 2 players on EU West server. I can beat top 20 challenger. I can beat professional players. Like, I beat a Brazilian professional player who played me 1-1 in a... he came to EU West, I think, to practice. He picked Fiora, I picked Tryndamere, I just shit on him. And he told me, I shit you not, that Tryndamere heals too much. A Fiora player. Okay, so now, how impressive is this where you're trying to impress a lady, right? Or whatever, some of your friends, right? And some silver schmuck is like, hey dude, if you're so good, play me 1-on-1, and then he absolutely shits on you. Dude, it's embarrassing, okay? It's completely embarrassing, right? If the skill, if you are Diamond 1 player, surely you should be able to beat somebody 1-on-1 who is like Iron tier, right? And in League of Legends, it doesn't happen. So therefore, there is no skill, right? You are literally wasting your time, okay? I'm telling you, if you want real skill, play 1-on-1, right? Or play a shooting game. Because in there, I will promise you, if there was a ladder system for 1-on-1, and there was a challenger rank 1 player, and you are silver schmuck coming into 1-on-1 arena playing a player who is rank 1, he will poop on you, he will annihilate you. It's the same shite in first-person shooters, right? I promise you, I will not beat a rank 1 shooting, like, let's say, I don't know, what Apex Legend or whatever. What are the popular shooting games right now? Popular FPS games, right? PvP, we'll probably need PvP, right? Well, Counter-Strike, for sure, right? Counter-Strike is definitely one of them, right? I promise you, I will not win against a rank 1 Counter-Strike player. I will not beat Apex 1 player. Highly unlikely that I'll be able to beat a Battlefield player, right? Valorant probably should be down right here. I mean, when you watch how Valorant players play, I'm talking about the top tier players, believe me when I tell you, you will not be able to beat them, right? It's just not happen. But in League of Legends, you can. So why, what the hell does that rank even mean? Right? Just think about it. What does it even mean? Imagine you are, I don't know, some kind of a dragon belt, a karate master, and you go into a bar and some fat ass who half drunk beats absolute shit out of you. That belt means jack shit, right? Because it has no substance in it. League of Legends rank is the same shit, right? So I'm telling you, it's a total waste of your time. It's a complete waste of your time. Rank in this game is irrelevant, right? And I have already proven it like a bazillion times, right? So I didn't need to go into it. Now, another thing is you have no control. But this boils down to it's a rotation mechanism where, yes, it's true, 5% of your games, 10% of your games, you have some form of control. But overall, it's a waste of your time because think about it this way, right? You are playing 95% of games that are already predetermined. So one thing I noticed, like when I was playing League, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the wins are not satisfying. I was like, dude, I just won, and it feels like nothing. Why? Because I was shitting on a feeder, right? Because you're playing against a bot or a feeder, and the whole mechanism, that's when I started to figure out, wait a minute, is it me playing well, or is it the system giving me a free win by giving me a shitter or a feeder to play against, right? That's why it's like dude, like it's like taking a candy from a baby or beating up a bot, right? So all you're doing, you're waiting for those 5% of games that are actually balanced. Now those games are fun. I will say yes, those games are fun. But the problem is you're wasting 95% of your time to get 5% of fun games that you can get in one-on-one straight away, right? You can get this in one-on-one straight away, right? Because there is this guy, there's you, there's the decision-making process, what champion is it gonna pick, what runes is it gonna pick, what items is gonna start. You want to play full game, what build is he going, is he managing the wave correctly, is he strategically positioning, like is he going to dive you while he has shitloads of minions, or he's diving you on a single minion wave, right? So all of that requires strategy. Get that in one-on-one. You don't need to play you don't need to waste 95% of your time. Just go into one-on-one and you get that straight away. Okay, yeah, so this one I'm gonna cover is basically humans. We can probably say emotions are addictive as well. Doesn't matter what they are. Chemicals in your brain are addictive, even if they're bad for you. Like your brain, I don't know, we haven't evolved yet, but we're just like, your brain cannot figure out what's good or bad for you. It just operates on chemicals sometimes. So you have to kind of learn how to control it. Otherwise it can just lead you into becoming rank 1 challenger League of Legends player, and you're like 27 years old and you realize, oh my bloody god, I just wasted 12 years of my life on something that is totally, completely useless, right? Even rank 1, like, talk to players, one of them is Uli. Uli is like he's like rank, last time I played against him, he was rank 2 on the server, EU West. If you ask him, would you recommend playing League of Legends? He said no, do not play League of Legends. It is too addictive. It exploits your psychology. Right? Now, the reason for that is very simple. Because humans get very angry. I'm talking about really, really, really pissed off when they feel they have no control. Okay? So think about a child. When does the child start to cry? Or when do you start to get frustrated? Most of the time, you feel that it's something outside of your control. Right? That's why, like, if you watch a lot of, like, I used to watch a lot of, like, I read, like, over 1,000 books at this stage, right? Most of them were, like, on self-improvement, like, psychology of success, business, and, like, also physical education, kind of like how to get fit and all that jazz. And there's a lot of correlations between strategies, right? And one of the strategies they tell you is you need to figure out how to have control over the outcome, right? There's this good saying, it's like a prayer. Prayer, let go of the things that I can't control, and wisdom to know the difference. Yeah, I'm not like a religion person, but you can say, I don't know, oh divine province or whatever. Grant me serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. These are your teammates in League of Legends. This is the system. You cannot control the outcome in League of Legends. You cannot sit down and say, today I'm going to win every single game that I'm going to play. You cannot do it in the 5-on-5. In 1-on-1 you can. This is why I strongly recommend go into 1-on-1. Right? Okay, serenity to accept the things that cannot change. The courage to change things that I can, which is your gameplay. Right? In 1-on-1 you can watch replays. You can say, okay, maybe going against Yonia, Horn is not the best item. Right? You want to start. That's how I eventually arrived at strategy, where I start Hammer, right? No, Blade. I start Blade, and you max E, and you just poop on him, right? Because the double E with, double level E, level 1, with Blade does half of his health with damage. You attack him, spin away, and if he does not retaliate, he already lost. Okay? So in 1-on-1 you have full control. And the wisdom to know the difference. So I am telling you right now, in League of Legends, you have no bloody control. Alright? It's just a rotation mechanism. So stop wasting your time. And stop listening to those coaches that are... There's a good saying. Do not ask a hairdresser if you need a haircut. Right? If you come to the coach and you ask him, hey coach, is it me that's losing the game or is it my teammates? They are going to tell you that it's your fault because they are getting paid. They are financially motivated to bullshit you. Alright? Let me just find the video for you. Yeah, so I found it. Look. So a coach is going to tell me that this is your fault. Okay? This is one misfortune. Look here. Okay? Look at her, how much gold she has. 13,000 gold. Okay? We have this guy with 7,000 gold. Well, okay, this guy's a little bit behind. This guy, 11,000 gold, Nocturne. Alright? Nocturne versus ADC. Just think about it. I mean, would you want to face a Nocturne as an ADC in a lane where you have no escape and no peel? Alright? They also have Annie with a stun. This guy on almost 11,000 gold. Well, 10,000 gold, right? Jinx alone is like pretty OP champ, right? And we have Garen with a flash ignite, everything is up. And this guy alone murders my entire team. Entire team he murders. Look, you see, kills Nocturne. My entire team shows up. And he just kills my entire team. Okay? So coach is gonna be like, oh yeah, you gotta focus on yourself. Dude, shut the hell up. right? What I need to do is I need to not play with these guys and play against them. Because when I play against them, those shitters are gonna lose to me in 7 seconds, right? And some of those guys, believe it or not, are platinum, some of them are diamond, and it doesn't get better, right? You think to yourself, oh, you know, I'm gonna get out of silver, dude. It's definitely gonna get better. Nope. You get to gold, nope. Still the same shit. Platinum, it's still the same shit. Diamond, it's still masters, it's still the same shit. It doesn't matter. There is no light at the end of this tunnel, right? This 5-on-5 bullshit, there is no light. In Challenger, in Master Tier, Grandmaster, it makes no difference. It's still gonna be bronze from your perspective. Why? Because it's rigged, right? And I've proven to you multiple times, it's completely rigged. This shit is gonna continue to happen to you, regardless of the tier. Okay? So it's just, I'm telling you, stop playing with them, play against them. That's when you're gonna have a lot of fun. Okay, so we talked about emotions being addictive, right? So when you tilt, your brain produces shitloads of emotions, because I'm telling you, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm just saying, why would I even bother queuing up? Because if I get these shitters on my team again, I'm not gonna win. Alright, there's just no way to win. Now, there are people gonna tell you, oh, yeah, you know, if you are good enough, you should be able to carry. Dude, Faker has 53% win rate. Faker loses in Diamond 3 tier. Okay? He is a professional world champion, and he still loses in lower tiers. I had, what was the guy named? Rangers, right? And he lost in silver. He was, in that season, he was rank 1 player on the server. I think it was season 11. And I saw him lose a game in silver. Alright, so are you trying to tell me that rank 1 player and a world champion is not good enough to carry a game? Come on. Alright, come on. Right? So when you watch this bullshit, your brain just releases so many chemicals, and over time you start to get addicted, basically, to this stuff. There is a term called addicted to misery, right? Sometimes immature kind of ladies who end up living with boyfriends that are very bad for them, that beat them up, you know, and just like not treat them well. You see, they're not addicted to the boyfriend. They say, oh, but I love him. No, they're just addicted to the chemical release, right? Because when she gets mistreated or whatever, people can do that, like any human can fall for this, right? Basically, every time there is some kind of massive emotional release in your brain just releases a lot of chemicals. They can be good, they can be bad, right? That process is addictive. Alright, that process is very, very, very addictive, right? So if you want to have control over your life, you need to kind of understand, you need to catch your brain and be like, okay, this activity here produces shitloads of dopamine or chemicals, right? Are those chemicals actually good for me? Is this activity good for me? If not, you need to train your brain. You basically need to detox your brain a little bit, right? Because every day you're gonna wake up, like that's why people wake up, they want to play League of Legends, they want to get that dopamine or that chemical release from here. So you need to, that's why I'm telling you, like 2 to 3 days and your brain is gonna detox itself, right? So it will kind of like start getting used to not having this release. Like, I have no release whatsoever. I'm watching this and I'm saying to myself, holy shit, what kind of an idiot would queue up with these morons to play a game, right? I don't want to play with them, I want to play against them. I want to shit on those dudes, right? He wants to pick Garen, starts to build full damage. Good for me. Excellent. I'm gonna 2-hit him with Infinity Edge. He is building full tank. No problem. I'm gonna take down his turret. I'm gonna buy Hullbreaker. I'm gonna build full tank as well. My wave clear is better. Right? There is no combination that they can do to win, because I already covered everything. Right? So the outcome is already certain for them. They're going to lose the game, and that's it. Teach them a lesson. So somebody shit talks you. You say, okay, dude, you think you're so good? Let's go 1-on-1, Aram. And you know the outcome. Yeah, so I made a video on this. Basically, if you watch a pro scene, right, coaches give zero shit about the rank, right? No coach ever looks at the ladder. Like, coaches don't do that, right? They do not go here. Oh, that's Nice. Oh my god, he got to plat 1. Did he get a boost? Who is he duking with? He needs a boost. Okay, no coach goes here, right? And be like, okay, this is the guys I'm gonna pick. Now, how many of them are in professional scene? Like, I know only this guy, I think, is a professional player, and that's it. Why? Because this ladder is like completely useless. It doesn't do anything. Alright, so it's a total waste of your time. Yeah, so how do you stop 1-on-1? Play, or how do you stop rank? Play 1-on-1. Right? Because when you lose a game, you're gonna have like massive frustration, and you need to train your brain to release that frustration on playing on some kind of different channel. Because right now you are trained, your brain is trained, you lose, you play next one. You lose, you play next one. You lose, you play next one, right? Or you win, it's dissatisfying because you just shit on a dude who is like playing Fiora and he went grasp and like he doesn't know what he's doing and you just went like 5-0. Your mid lane went 25 kills. Your ADC has 150 farm at 11 minutes with 7 kills and you just stomped their entire team. And you're just like, dude, that felt like shit. It's like playing against bots. Let me play the next one. Let me play the next one, right? You're just addicted, right? And it becomes this like vortex of total waste of time. So I'm telling you, you need a channel where you're like, okay, I feel like playing League. I want to beat the shit out of noobs. I want to see if I'm good enough. If I still have it. You go into 1-on-1 games, half an hour, 6-7 games, you're done. You feel very good about yourself, right? I'm telling you, believe me when I tell you 1-on-1. Now, the cool thing about 1-on-1 also, you will straight away notice you will notice how irrelevant rank is when you play 1-on-1. Like, I'll call it beauty of 1v1. Okay, you notice how irrelevant the rank is. Because I'm telling you, you're gonna be playing against gold player and he's like, let's say, Yone main, or he's Riven main. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be a hard game. It's all like he's some kind of a Zac main, or he plays one champion, or Fiora main. It's gonna be a hard game for you, right? Whereas you play against Diamond 1 player, and his champion pool consists of 150 champions, you're gonna poop on him so hard that he's gonna cry, right? I don't know, he's gonna pick Jax, you're gonna poop on his Jax, you're gonna pick Darius. Darius is like very hard counter to Tryndamere. He's very hard to play, even on Aram, very, very hard, right? And you just like stomp him, right? And like you have to understand, it's a Diamond 1 player. He's gonna do that in games as well. So like, do this basically. Okay, so this is done. Let's talk about how to quit. So this is going to be very, very, very quick and very, very easy, right? The first thing you need to understand is utility theory. This comes from economics. How to explain this to you the best way? Basically, utility is satisfaction that you get from a basket of goods. It's probably jargon. You probably don't know what that means, but I'll explain it to you, okay? Let's say we have, let's make a basket of goods. That's not going to be a super basket, but whatever. Let's make 4 goods. Let's take 4 goods. Let's take, I don't know, let's take, what can we take? Let's do chips let's do a burger. Let's do broccoli. And let's do, I don't know, Coca-Cola. Well, let's do something healthy. Let's do chips, burger, broccoli, and let's say, let's do Coca-Cola. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is called a basket of goods. Now, your brain subconsciously has utility value assigned to it. They are called utils. In economic, they are called utils. Right? So like a unit of utility is called a util. Right? So you can kind of measure that chips, I don't know. For me, I love chips. For sure. Like, let's say 10,000 utils. Burger is pretty high up there. I'd say 8,000 utils. Right? Broccoli, I also like broccoli. Especially if you boil it, I'd say, I don't know, 3,000 utils. For sure. I mean, it's no chips, but I mean, it's pretty good. And then Coca-Cola, I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, so let's do chips, or I'd say, well, chips or Coca-Cola, depending, but I'd say equal. Okay? So you see, this is kind of like your utility, right? So some people have different, some people like chips more, but you get the concept, right? Everything you eat, everything you do has some kind of utility in it, right? So let's assume that throughout the day, all you do, well, let's explain in food first, and then we'll go to activities, right? Let's think about, let's say for the whole day, you eat two meals like this. That's all you eat for the whole day. Right, so what's that? Let me just do the math real quick in here. Whoopsie. Okay, actually it's better if I do it this way, because I need to see how much, where's this thing? Okay, so chips, so we have 2 chips, which is 10,000, 2 Coca-Cola, also 10,000, we have 2 broccoli at 3,000, and then we have 2 burgers at 8,000. Now that's a shitty diet, but I mean, you get the point, right? So we get total, some of this, okay? Yeah. So look, you see, you got 62,000 utils per day from food. Okay? So imagine, let's also, yeah, let's just stick to food. Imagine somebody comes up to you and they say, you know, chips are not good for you, you need to replace it with vegetables. Right? So what do? I don't know, you chunk this out, right? And we put, I don't know, let's say, instead of chips, let's say you put cabbage. Now, I like cabbage, but I mean, it's no chips. So this will give you, let's say, 2,000 utils. Okay, so now you replaced your, so now your meal plan looks like this. Okay, so that's your original, and now you have adjusted. Now you have, so this became, how much did we put? 2,000, I think, right? 2,000, yeah. So now this became like this. So now you see you have such a massive deficit, you're gonna start getting massive cravings. Massive cravings. You see? It's very, very, very bad. Okay? This is why cold turkey does not work, because if you're doing cold turkey, you're effectively just doing this. You see? Like 33%. You lost 33, 1/3 of your day's utility vanished, right? your brain is not used to it. It's gonna start complaining. You're gonna do it for one day, right? Now, imagine this for a whole week. If you do this for the whole week, you're gonna be down. That's how much utility. 140,000. Your brain is gonna go berserk. It's gonna start complaining. You're gonna say, hey, dude, you know, I'm not getting enough utility here. Dude, like, I'm not used to, because your brain kind of, humans are creatures of habit. Like, did you know that if you track a person, if you just put a tracker on him, you will notice that throughout the week, he goes to the same places, almost eats at the same time, almost eats the same food, almost eats the same type of utility. Like, if you look at the basket of utilities, most of the food that you eat is gonna contain kind of like this amount of utility. Right, so it could be a combination of, like, I don't know, burger, chips, and apple pie. It can be potatoes with fish fingers with Coca-Cola. Again, same level of utility. Does that make sense? So the food selection that you do usually will amount to this type of utility. Most of the time. It can be a combination of anything, right? But if you start chunking it out, your brain is gonna start complaining. It's gonna feel like you're missing out. It's gonna feel like you're missing something. You know, something is wrong, right? So this is why when you are substituting, you have to match the utility, right? So as opposed to putting cabbage, put like cabbage and add ice cream, right? Now you have the same level of utility. Eat a double burger, add the cheese to it, right? In, like, to broccoli, add cheese. For example, boiled broccoli with cheese, right, is very, very nice. So let's say, I don't know, we added cabbage, and let's say we add low-fat cheese in here. I really like low-fat cheese, right? So let's say, I don't know, let's say 6,000 utils additional, okay? Whoopsie. What the hell is going on? So you see, now we added. So you see, we added 2,000, and then we added 6,000 twice, right? So something is missing. Yeah, I thought so. We need 13. So you see, now you're close. Now you're only missing 4,000 utility, so you can, I don't know, drink 2 cans of Coca-Cola, or you can add an ice cream, right? You can just add, like, ice cream in here, for example, right? But you get the idea. You add ice cream. I'm not a big fan of ice cream, to be honest with you. And for me, it's like, I don't know, 1,500 utility, or let's say 2,000 utility, right? So you add 2,000 utility, boom, right? So that's gonna be, well, you get the idea, right? So we add 2 by 2,000. Yeah, so now we have, so now we match the utility. You see, so now your brain will not care whether you stopped eating chips, because now it thinks to itself, okay, I'm getting cheese and I'm getting an ice cream in exchange. Worth the trade, right? And that's it. So you need to understand this, right? So you need a substitute. This is why I'm saying one-on-one is a good substitute. Because I get a lot of utility from beating the shit out of, like, cocky players who tell me that, oh, you're iron player or whatever. I have an account which is iron, and I specifically have it at iron because I like when players shit talk to me. You know, they're like, oh, this is why you're so bad. I'll show you. It's so satisfying, I'm telling you. Where is my... Yeah, look, you see, I write down the complaints, and they are so funny. Look at this guy's, like, he's... It's hilarious what people come up with when they lose the game. Especially, like, I'm talking about, like, the diamond, the bigger the ego, the more the insults. It's hilarious. Okay, it's hilarious. I mean, people are telling me, this is why you are iron, and he is like, Platinum 1 player loses to Iron player, and he's telling me that I'm bad. At the end of the game. After 3 times he loses to me, he's like, yeah, you know, you're bad. It's hilarious. So basically what I'm saying is you need a substitute. Like you just need a substitute. You need to get that utility from somewhere. So we talked about food in here, but this can be activities as well. Now, League of Legends provides a lot of dopamine, and dopamine registers as utility. So you see, the reason why you cannot quit is because, like, League gives you right now probably like, I don't know, 100,000 utils, right? So you need to get those utils from somewhere. Now, another thing I'm going to tell you is how to say, yeah, so I found the study, right? So in here what they did was they trained mouses to click a lever, right? And then a shot of dopamine went into their head, right? So these mouses became so addicted to clicking this dopamine lever that they basically stopped, like after 2 hours, if you just, like, why do people play League of Legends and they cannot do anything other than play League of Legends? Because everything else becomes too boring, right? So for these mouses, eating, drinking became boring, right? They got so little satisfaction from drinking and eating that they didn't even want to do that. Do you understand? So, how to say, this system that produces too much dopamine, right? So we're talking about cocaine, we're talking about like some, compare like crisps, like, I don't know, let's say some kind of super flavored drink to tea, okay? Now, at some point, if you drink this stuff too much, your brain, because, I mean, it produces so much utility, drinking tea feels like nothing, okay? When you play League of Legends, right, I'm talking this addictive behavior where you constantly, like, you have to understand the mechanism is designed to get you hooked. It is designed to do that. They, like, I'll give you an example. Switch off the sound in League of Legends and just listen to the gold coins. When you kill a minion, the subtle release, like the sound of the money that's going into your pocket, right? That, now you don't even notice it, right? But I'm telling you, switch off the sounds and just activate only some sounds in League of Legends. These guys have trained lab scientists that will perfect every single sound, every single element of the game to maximize utility. Because they make money when you're playing the game, right? They will get you hooked. So, after multiple days of playing this, things like, I don't know, watching a movie becomes boring. Listening to music becomes boring. Doing anything other than this becomes boring. Because your brain is so used to this obscene amounts of dopamine, right? So cocaine is the same. It's not the substance of that cocaine is addictive, it's how much utility it releases, right? The problem with these kind of systems is that they permanently damage your brain and it becomes unreceptive to anything else. Do you understand? Now with League of Legends there is light at the end of the tunnel, because I'm telling you, you need 2 to 3 days to be off it so your brain goes back to normal levels of dopamine, where drinking tea will start producing utility. Does that make sense? Because right now you drink tea, it feels like 1. Okay? That's why you see all those kind of like League of Legends players, all they eat is takeaway food, all they drink is some giga flavored energy drink that will just melt your tongue. Right now, if I were to drink a energy drink, my tongue would explode, right? Because most of the time I drink just water or Diet Coke, right? Well, Diet Coke, I occasionally drink it. Very, very rarely. It's extreme, but when I drink, it's like Coca-Cola, like Diet Coke, I feel like I'm in a next level of ecstasy. Do you know what I mean? Because my tongue is just not used to this type of utility, right? So you see, you need to kind of detox your brain. That's what I'm saying. You need to detox your brain. And this means that you have to kind of stay away from these activities or replace them with something that gives you kind of the same level, but it's not so extreme. That's why in League of Legends one-on-one is just perfect, right? Because it kind of somewhere in the middle, and over time, tea drinking and doing other activities will start to feel good, right? So I hope I didn't confuse you, but I mean, you just have to understand that this is a drug. This here, it's a drug. It's designed to chemically produce too much dopamine. This is why it's so hard to quit it. And but the good news is that unlike other drugs that stay in your system for a long time because they're chemicals, League of Legends is 2 or 3 days, and I'm promising you, like, it's gonna be okay. Just find a replacement, okay? Just find a replacement. I also found that social media does the same thing. Like League of Legends, like social media, Twitch. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Facebook. What else is there? YouTube, like, trash content, like daily dose of internet. Then what else is there? LinkedIn, right? As soon as you stop using them, you start to feel lonely, and this only happens after these activities like Twitch, YouTube, League of Legends. Now it's artificial. You have to remember it's artificial, right? So you're gonna start feeling depressed. You're gonna start feeling lonely. You have to understand that it's not you. It's nothing wrong with you. It's the League of Legends. It's designed to do this. Social media is designed to do this to you, right? This is why I'm telling you, you need to stop. You need to find a substitute. One of the best substitute I found is series, right? If you find like good series, like, I know, Stargate, I like Stargate. Vox Machina is like animated series that I'm watching now. Heroes is a series I also like watching. You start to kind of get attached to some characters and you start to kind of root for them. So series is very, very good way. You can also watch game movies like Among Us. I watched, was pretty good. Well, not Among Us, but The Last of Us. The Last of Us was pretty good. I didn't like the endings. Also, I didn't like that some good characters were kind of. I'm not gonna give you spoilers, but okay. All right. Another next thing is you need a material to help you quit, right? So this book is very, very good. This one here. If you Google enough, you can find it for free. I'm just telling you. Okay. Now, if you don't want to buy it and you don't like reading, now I'll tell you, this book is a little bit too long. Some of it is like I would take out. The easiest way to do is just to use this. This is an Irish. This is for like people who want to quit drugs, alcohol, smoking, right? So in here you just click on these things and they give you the material, right? So what do you value? Do you know what I mean? Like, just go through them. I literally went through every single one of them, and let me just prove it to you. Let me just real quick. Where's my addiction recovery? Yeah, you see? I finished reading the book. I did the exercises. I pretty much did everything, right? And I did this as well, right? Most of the book, honestly, like this book that I'm showing you, right? This book and this, they are exactly the same. Only this book kind of, it just gives you a bit of theory and background, but to be honest with you, you do not need it. Just go through the exercises, watch the videos, write down, right? And follow through. And that's it. You can fail as many times as you want. Just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Over time, I mean, guys, please. Okay, do you honestly want to play with these people? Alright, come on. Okay? Now, I don't want to play with them being on my team, and I don't want to play against them in terms of because you see, like, okay, let's say I'm playing against them and I'm just shitting on them. It's still 30, look at the time, 30 minutes of time. Totally wasted. In one-on-one, I would have popped this guy in like 7 seconds. This guy's Garen, so I mean, this is probably gonna take longer, right? This guy's Annie, I would have popped him in 7 seconds. Nocturne is like all-in matchup, so this is like 7 seconds again. This game would have been 3 minutes, and I would have walked away with 4 wins, right? Instead, I'm sitting here. If I'm on their side, I'm getting shit on by their entire team, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, when is this going to be over? And the worst shit of all, they will never surrender. That is the worst shit of all, right? And if I'm playing against them, I'm thinking to myself, shit, the game is over at 8 minutes, and it's 26 minutes, and they're still not gonna surrender. Alright, so that game is gonna drag on to 35 minutes, which is a total waste of your time. Alright, come on. The only reason why you're doing it is because you're addicted. Okay, so why are these tools are so effective? Because they are designed for mostly for people who have mental sicknesses, right? Because think about how many decades of research came into these psychological tools, all right? So they are specifically trained, like they're specifically designed to help people that are mentally weak, okay? So if you use it on a normal person, this is like steroids. Now, why, for example, steroids are so effective on normal people? Because they are designed for people who are sick. And if you give it to a normal person, they become like super soldiers, right? Because it just elevates their power. And this will, there is a lot of good, I still use a lot of tools from here, right? They are very, very good. I'm telling you, they are very, very good. All right. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it with League of Legends. I mean, you can use it to train any behavior change. You want to, I don't know, be more productive, you can use these tools, right? You want to, I don't know, spend less time on YouTube, you can use these tools. It doesn't have to be addiction. It can be some kind of, well, YouTube is also addiction, but I don't know. But like what I'm saying is that these tools are very, very powerful, and there is a lot of exercises in here. All of them have their own benefits, right? Okay, so 3 more. Keep the trigger log. So this will be part of your exercises, right? You'll see that I have my urge. I used to do it, right? I used to keep track of it, right? Yeah, okay, so another one is when you're doing this utility substitute, right? When you're replacing League of Legends with, I don't know, with something. Anything you want, as long as it's not League of Legends. Overeat ice cream, overeat fast food, overwatch YouTube, anything possible to stay away from League of Legends. You need to detox your brain and do this for 3 days. Right, believe me, 2 to 3 days, you're gonna look at this with completely different eyes. You're like your brain chemistry is gonna change, right? And you're gonna look at this and say, why would I ever queue up for this? Right? I'm watching this and it makes no sense to me right now. Why would I do that? Do you know what I mean? So I'm telling you. So when you're going through those 2 to 3 days, whatever it takes. Buy yourself ice cream, buy yourself too much Coca-Cola. Honestly, I bought myself Lucozade. I never drank Lucozade, it's very nice. Lucozade was very, very good. And I bought like, I don't know, 8 of them, and I just drank like 4 of them in one day, and then Coca-Cola. But it got me through it, right? It got me through it. You just need to kind of get the snowball rolling, where your brain is kind of starts to get used to not playing League, and then becoming rational, and then over time other things will start to get interesting, like watching movies gonna start getting interesting, talking to people, reading books, learning new material. Okay, so I need to wrap this up. Yeah, okay, the final one is probably very, very important. Okay, you have to understand your target audience, right? When you play League of Legends, right, you come in with your rank and you're like diamond. You approach an adult, somebody like me, and you say, I'm diamond. I will say, is that the League of Legends kids game where you just rotate a lot of games and you get rank? You'll say yes. Okay, that's not impressive. It's like World of Warcraft, where you have better gear and you one-shot the other guy. You just played more games. Okay? It's not very impressive. So that means you're trying to impress these guys. 8-year-old kids. Yeah, so you see, this is generally the population of League of Legends. Now imagine you're standing there and this guy's and you're like, hey dudes, I'm Diamond League of Legends. They're like, wow, oh my god, he's Diamond League of Legends. Right? Now, they're not very smart. You have to understand, kids are not very smart. A lot of stuff that they tell you is just because they are not. They want to think that League of Legends is some kind of magical sports like basketball or like, you know, like football, but it's not. It's not. It's a game that is rigged, built by a corporation to make money. It is not esports, okay? Like, okay, FPS, I understand. First person shooter. I understand that, you know, ability to shoot is kind of its trainable skill, but you also have to understand that kids have better reflexes than adults. Alright, so this esport is, if you're young enough, you have an advantage. Right? It's kind of like gymnastics, you know, like for girls. Up to a certain age, their bodies are just so flexible. Adults simply cannot do that, right? So in esports, if you're a child, you have a little bit of an advantage because your reflexes are a little bit faster, right? But overall, dude, I mean, are you trying to impress these people? Okay, dude, they're like 5 to 8 years old, dude. Okay, right? So please don't waste your time trying to impress these guys by telling them that you are a diamond player. Right? It's just hilarious. I don't know. It's funny to me. I'm like, imagine you walk into a room, you're like, hey guys, I'm a diamond player. And they're like, oh, wow. He's diamond player. So what? Doesn't do anything. Okay, so I wrap this up. I'm gonna link this in the description below, and yeah, have any questions? Comment below. Take care. Bye bye.